We made it to Friday. Bro, check this out though. My hair's fucked. Don't look at that. I don't know if you guys see that. As above, so below. I had to get this hat when I saw it. It was in fucking Zara. Check this out. Ballhouse Farms. If you guys have a Publix nearby, that bitch is BOGO. I feel like I don't really know what I'm gonna. Well, actually, let's start. Just what a beautiful Friday. Nice last day of work. It was just me in the office, so. Dude, there's a noise that's happening. Wait, hold on. I'm like getting scared. It's like I'm hearing a noise. It kind of sounds like a bee, but I think it's just the chair. But I can't recreate it. Anyways, nice chill Jay. Just me in the office. Bro, there was something I did want to talk about though. Oh, it was about my dad, but I'm gonna save that for another day because I actually don't want to talk about it anymore. But I did remember the brief moment in time I did want to talk about it. Fuck it, let's just talk about it. I think for a long time, like, okay, brief backstory, like, every day from like high school, maybe even younger, or not high school, elementary school, like from the age of like that, whatever that age is, like kindergarten, first grade, up until like middle high school, like up until like junior, sophomore year, every single day that I would come home from school, I would fight with my dad, like every single day. But like not like normal fighting, like really like top of your lungs screaming, door slamming, like that type of shit. But every single day, like a routine. Like when I was in elementary school, he was the one that picked me up from school, right? So we would get home at the same time. We would just argue the whole time. And then, like I would always end up get home, something to argue about. Would argue about it, and then I would just go in my room, slam the door. He would open the door, yell at me for slamming the door, and then slam the door and then leave. And I would just stay in my room the rest of the night. Yeah, I would never want to eat dinner. Like, dude, this is the type of shit. So yeah, I don't know. That's just like that's my view of my dad in a way, or that's how I see what he's done for him. Like that, like in the past, like, and so in 2020, around 2021, 2022, like around the early 2020s, I was like, I started the path of forgiveness. I was like, you know, I love this guy. Like I can see, I was mad for so long. I was telling my mom about it, and I was like, you know, I appreciate that he has a house, that he provided for us in the way that he's always had the job. My dad's had the same job for 25 years, right? And I would get mad at him because he would always bring it home. He would always be angry and so I would tell my mom, like, I don't give a fuck, like, that he provided for us financially or like in this type of way. Like, I needed him there emotionally. And so I was not making everything equal, like in a way that I was discrediting like all the effort, all the things that he has done, and I was only trying to view him through the way in which I perceive love, not like in the way that he's giving love. And so I guess it's about love languages in a way, but I wasn't really seeing it that way. And so then I tried forgiving him again, and then a couple weeks ago I got so mad at him. It just was yelling, and like it just like I get triggered, and I revert back to childhood me, like that feeling, and I get real defensive. And so then I was reminded again, like, damn, I haven't forgiven him. And I thought to myself, like, Sorry, okay, I'm back. These were also BOGO. Dots pretzels. I got this. Ooh, I didn't get the cinnamon ones. I should have got the cinnamon ones. I got honey mustard and I got a different flavor. I forgot what it was. Anyways, back to my dad. Like, okay, so my mom, she got like a new job, and so she's like living like in a different part of the state like for half the week, like 3 days out of the week, right? And so he's having to be by himself a lot, right? And I'm like, man, this guy, and he doesn't have, my dad's not a guy with friends. He doesn't have friends. He has like friends, but he doesn't have someone to talk to when he's down, or someone to just be like, I want to hang out with this guy. He just hang out with the neighbors for the time being, but there's nothing like long term. And so, but this is such a classic man. I don't think my dad, I think this is just like every guy that age, like in that generation. And we're trying to get better as a humanity, and as a gender to get better at this. But like, damn, and I just think to myself, he's all alone right now, with nobody, just him and his own thoughts. And now my mom actually had to stay because there was like something happening where a big thing happening at the end of the month. So she was requested to stay for the whole month over there. So he won't see her he's going in like 2 weeks, but then essentially he won't really see her for like a month. That's so much time for my dad to be by himself. And I think, like, at least at that time, men were getting better at men being socialized to express emotion, to have emotion, or to learn how to be, you know, better at articulating your emotions, or like being empathetically. We're learning these things, on average, and so I know for him it's not like that. And so he's like, a lot of times when men like this get mad, it turns into like really all the isms and the racism and the phobias and like the misogyny and also the misandry, like it's just like, because all that stuff is like propaganda, like trying to make you think, okay, the reason you feel so bad about your life and that you hate and things are not going well is because of all these things and all these people. That's all. Like, really a lot of the conservative party at least uses fear mongering a lot, and actually Democratic Party is starting to use fear mongering as well in terms of like talking about it's the doomsday and it's the end of times now because whoever's the president, and it could get really bad, but that's just like a really bad message to say. And so what I'm trying to say is, like, I know my dad is by himself, and because of what he's done and all the anger he's held inside, I don't really speak to him, and my sister doesn't speak to him too much. She does more than me, but not really. And now my mom's away from him, and now he's just by himself. And a couple years ago, I like wrote him a letter to, like, it was a really long letter of me being forgiving, but like the end of the letter was kind of like, Tony. He's an Italian, so like I was like, Tony Soprano went to therapy, right? Like, please go. Like, I want you to be better. I want you to heal your stuff, right? And I see him slowly getting better in certain ways, but then at other times I'm like, damn, he's back. Nothing's changed, and that's why I got mad at him a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago. And then we're chill now. I saw him in person last weekend, but I don't know. It saddens me. Like, at the same time, yes, you had this anger and you let it out on your family. You let it out, and you weren't really emotionally close to like your children and stuff like this. And I'm like, and that's why you deserve not to be like, you deserve to be alone, essentially. That's one way of thinking, but at the same time too, yeah, he's my father, and like, and I see the good in him. I'm like, he's literally, that is so important. Now that I'm an adult and I understand like how much things cost and like what is the value of money, like, and like what you actually have to do to provide for the ones you love, like, I fully understand and respect that, like, the financial part of it and just holding on the family, but it's more than that. He was such an emotional rock for my mom. And he's like a very stoic guy, and he holds it on in, but like, he was the only thing that stopped my family falling apart. Like, not falling apart, but like, things would have been really, really bad. Like, when all my grandparents and my aunt died, like, within the span of 3 weeks. Like, all on my mom's side of her, like, her parents and her sister died. And like, my dude, it was a bad time. That was a really bad time. And my dad held that shit down. He was there. He helped for the funeral stuff. He went to the... Dude, why am I getting called right now? I can't answer that. He went to the funeral. He helped, like, clean up the house. And, like, every step of the way that my mom took, he was there. And so I'm like, this guy's the fucking man. He's the man. And so at other times, I'm like, this guy is the dude. But then when I think about me personally reaching out to him, there's like such a resistance, you know, because I still haven't forgiven him fully. But I only can do that through speaking to him, and so I have to push through that resistance to be like, I think we can have a better relationship, and like I think we can have a great relationship. A lot of lonely men in this world, like most of us. But like I have great friends. I have really good friends. But even when you have great friends and all your friends are dudes, dudes don't really bond like that. Like we just like let's game at the end of the night or something like that. Like that's how we relate. It's not I'm gonna call you when I'm alone and like I don't know, maybe not for every man, but a lot of, like for the majority of the time you're still like by yourself, you know. I guess that's with every person. So sorry, I'm just like talking myself into a loop. But it's true, bro. We usually just have our significant other and our boys. But we don't talk to our, like, I don't know. We can all relate to being alone, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And, like, if we use that time when we're, like, we're all just down and we're just, like, falling off the horse 100 times and we're so depressed and, like, as men, we just, like, hold it all in and stuff like that. Like, like, we gotta do better than that. We have to talk to each other. Men have to talk to each other about anything. And so we can be better fathers. And better husbands. You know, we don't gotta ball it all up. And maybe people are right. Maybe it isn't we don't have to talk. Like, we bond in a lot of ways. But even then, it's like, all I do is with my boys play video games, there still to me feels like something different missing. Like if we can't like really like have conversations like that, like it feels like something missing. But like with my friends, now I can have those conversations. But I don't know. But like even when I'm thinking of something like doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu together, like I wanted my dad to go into like he told me he would do BJJ with me if we live near each other. Since when is this guy interested in martial arts, bro? And BJJ is like, in wrestling is such a bonding experience because like you're just being kind of intimate with like dudes, like in a very platonic way, obviously, but like that's what it is. Like, we're like male cubs, you know. We bond through like wrestling and play, and that's what it is. And that's what intimacy looks like between men. But we can also talk, but like, you know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is, no, I'm definitely not at 20 minutes. All I'm trying to say is like, there's some things I need to push through so I can have a better relationship with my dad. Cause I could so easily just be like, I don't want to talk to him ever again. Like, but he like doesn't say anything bad to me. He shows up in every way that matters. I'm just like, I wish he said it in a nicer way, or I wish that he could say it like with less emotion. But it's like he's Italian. Like I'm on TikTok and I see Italian dads talking. I'm like, oh wait, they all talk this way. So maybe I'm wrong. But at the same time, Italians have a lot of anger. If you know their history in America, they have this. I mean, it's just it was a very marginalized community. Not like in the sense of other like in comparison, but. So I can understand their anger, but like it's just crazy. I don't know. Hey, Publix sponsor me. I also got a pub sub. Publix sponsor me. Dots Pretzels, BOGO. Ball House Farms, BOGO. Bro, let me see how much time. I actually tell a funny story. Hold on. Oh, dude, I have so many minutes. Bro, I always think I talk for longer than I do. Until I don't, and then the camera runs out. But I was at the dog park today. Nobody was there for a little bit, and then, like, someone came there, and he's the guy that I first met at the dog park. I always see him. He has 2 dogs. I don't know what breed they are. Well, one's a Rottweiler. The girl's a Rottweiler. What's her name? Oh, it wasn't on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, and then another big old dog. But he came. We chatted for a while about everything. A very unique guy. Like he lived in a cabin out in the middle of north, and like. So I guess now I'm like piecing. Every time I meet him, I've only seen him like 4 or 5 times. But every time I meet him, I get new information to piece together his world. But like this guy, he got he through Indeed he got like connected to a startup, and it was just him and the VP. I don't know exactly what he does. He's very cryptic when he talks about what he does, which is kind of it's not suspicious. He's just being like careful with his words. Um, Something with like selling loans or something like that, but it's not a bank. Essentially, he said like I give money to people. People pay me for money, like something like that, but not a banker. But then he talked about he worked like with a lot, like his company works with like 80% of like or like the demographic of the people he works with, like Jewish bankers in New York. Very stereotypical, but then he just like so he did this. He's very like wealthy guy, and he just like he lived in a cabin in upstate New York for like 6 years, just by himself. And he's like, he just talks about like he does a lot of drugs and a lot of like he's tried anything and everything. Like he still does like I don't know. He's a very unique guy. He's a cool guy. And so whatever. Besides the point, but I still don't remember his name. I don't know his name, but yeah, we're there, and then another dog, and then a bunch of dogs are pulling up. She gets so dirty, and then this other guy sits down at the table, and we're chilling on there, and we're just talking about whatever, probably banking, and then, or we were talking about tech sales and startups and stuff like that, and crazy, bro, that's crazy. I've been thinking about how do I find people at startups, and then I just met two people. I didn't even realize. I thought, and I wanted something, and then I attracted it. Like I just spawned it. I just spawned him in. Like that was crazy actually. But anyways, the guy's dog just went over to the dog fountain in the mud, big mud puddle, and just starts digging, like mud everywhere. And the guy turns around and is like, "Stop, stop!" And the dog's like 9 months old. He's like screaming, "Stop!" And he runs up, and then he just like he's like this, with his back turned towards us, and he's just like this. For a good like 3 minutes, he was just standing there in disbelief, and then his dog kept going there and doing it. Willow got splashed a bit, so I gave her a bath. Anyways, I'm excited for this weekend because I think I'm just gonna draw a lot. I drew this. I'm gonna tell you guys. It would be so much better if I had like pictures of it, if you could actually see what I'm talking about, but. Could. You totally could. That's what we're gonna do. I'm bringing you guys to the drawing board. Hold on. Alright, let me show you guys what's going on. This is like my first really big, after like, I've been drawing since like 7 months ago was when I first started drawing, whatever date that was. Oh wait, no. Let me see on this book. Because this is my first ever drawing. Let me show you. This is the very start. 7/13. I called this one the soul. It was just like your soul and all like the branches of like who you are and who you could become, and like all the possibilities, or like how you express yourself. But anyways, so 7/13 I started. But I didn't actually start drawing this until, so I was just doing boxes and I was like practicing and like doing basics and just drawing random stuff, and then I started this one like 2 months ago, so I'll explain. So it's a train, obviously. Obviously, oh, sorry. I can show you, let me show you. So there's a train tracks. And it's because I wanted to do my first ever 2-point perspective. And so what that means is that the horizon line is this. There's a line going straight across. And it's actually over here. But in these points, I keep hitting this shit with my head. But these points are where every line comes from. So every line, boom, boom, boom. Every line you see comes from there. But vertical lines, they're all parallel. Vertical, 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 vertical. Like all these vertical. But anyways, so I got some trains. I got these tunnels. I did the tunnels pretty poorly, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I left this space blank just because I thought it'd be sick. But it's kind of like train track flying above you, just like defying gravity, like the fucking defying gravity. That's such a banger song. But I got a Big Ben tower, and then I have this like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like okay, how I can't explain it. So in this world, the bourgeoisie or the ruling class are giants, but like brutalism giants. I don't know if you guys know what brutalism is, but yeah, like brutalism giants, like these giants that are just kind of concrete. So it's this big giant overlooking this scene with these trains. Also, there's another train track back there. It's just like this. It's like it's surrealism a little bit. But then he's holding this staff. He's got a staff. He's cold, and then there's just a road that starts and goes out to nowhere. It's just, and I actually drew it, but you can't really see it. But there's little people. Like I actually didn't draw it too well, but there was like very little people walking, to show that like the human race are like rats now. They're like, yeah, like they're just the working class. Like it's just like the giants use humans to do everything. They can breed them. They can do whatever they want. Like they just work. They do all the work, and they just oversee them. So this giant was overseeing this. So then, like I just started this yesterday. Kind of insane. So let me explain. So first I started off by drawing this thing, like this squid thing, and then and then the second thing I drew was this little face. I was like, let me just draw a guy, but he's looking backward. Here, wait, it seems better in the light. Hold on, I'll just zoom in. Yeah. Okay, so there's like a little guy turning around looking, and then I was like, okay, so I'm doing this in perspective. So like, there's a little guy out here, because he's really far away. Like here's the horizon line, and so what I'm drawing, and okay, you see that so this guy's the closest thing. He's right in our face. He's right in our face, meaning so the tube that is coming from the squid starts small and then gets big because it's right here, and so it's in perspective, and so everyone is essentially looking back at you. This guy's looking at you. And everyone has these eyes, right? And then Julianne drew this, but I want to change the eyes because I was saying that essentially this creature is a creature that can spawn in and generate humans. So it's just generating humans. And I told her, I was like, oh, it could generate body parts too. Like it could generate, like it starts off by like generating the legs first. Like a human will like slowly come out of the tube, and so. She didn't really understand too much what I was talking about, so she drew a foot, because I was like, draw a foot first, so she drew a foot. I might have to change that. And then she drew this eye, which is kind of sick, though. But I'm just going to draw humans all the way, like, everywhere and anywhere. And then I'm going to draw some more, like, squids that are really small, like, way out here. Like, spawning in humans way in the background. And then she was like, what if this is part of, like, I was like, I want this to be part of the same universe as the last one now. And she's like, okay, we'll draw a giant in there with a staff, like, commanding them. So I drew this giant. And this one's more detailed than the last, because the last one was kind of at, like, it was kind of at nighttime. This one was at nighttime. But, so you can't really see the detail. And the face, due to the perspective, you can't really see the face, because it would be, like, pointed straight out that way. And so I drew this, bro. He's kind of sick though. So I drew him in a way where he has like some sort of like alien language like written on him all over his body, and he has it written on the staff, and his arm's like super far away, like that's why it's so small. And in his face, like, this is like brutalism, and brutalism is just like kind of Slavic. It's just kind of like a lot of concrete, just like the use of a lot of concrete and like simpleness. And so his face is just like a concrete block, but I made it so it indents. It has some sort of like features of a face, but it's not a face. And then it has like these little stitches over here. And I drew a nice neck, and then he just has a block body. He's kind of like a Roblox character, but so that's what I've been up to. This is a very rough sketch. I'm gonna detail the heck out of the squid. I want to make the squid like having like so many eyeballs. But anyways, that's what I've been up to. All right, you guys have a. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wow. My hair is so jank. Like, let's get the brim on. Let's get the brim on. You guys have a blessed rest of your Friday. I'm probably just gonna draw the rest of the night and chill. And I'll catch you guys on Saturday. Thank you if you stay this long. Appreciate it. Love you. And yeah, man, let's forgive our fathers. Dang, it's hard. Guys, girls, gays, queers, they, them, Z's, any, all, everyone, and anyone. Have a blessed rest of your Friday. Have a good Saturday. Toodaloo.